Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to KLE BC Athene online classes. In this class, we will discuss the structure of a C program. How the structure will be there for the C program. So, if you are writing a C program, you need to follow the model or a structure. Then only we can easily write down the programs for future purpose. And the first section will be a document section here. So, document section generally contains the title or name of the programmer, program purpose, date, and the language which are going to use. This must be included in the comment lines. So, this will be the advantage for the end user for the development purpose. If you are developing a C program, if you want to transport your program to the other programmer, at that time after seeing the documentation section, the programmer will identify and the purpose of the program. And the second section is preprocessor directives. So preprocessor directives are nothing but there are many header files are present in C library like stdio.h, conio.h, string.h. If you are using any functions from these header files, you need to include in your program by using preprocessor directives like hash include, hash define. So many macro definitions are also there here. The third section is macro definitions. So if you are defining any constants throughout the program, if you don't want to if you want to use, so such type of constants can be defined once before the main function. So that will be used globally throughout the program. Preprocessor directives and macro definitions are included. And the third section is a global variables declarations and functions prototypes. So any variable that can be used in any function in your program, the such type of variables can be declared globally. So if you are creating a variable inside a function, that time that variable will become local to that particular function. So any variable if you want to access in a different functions present inside that program, such type of variables can also be declared in in your program, so that you should not include in your functions. So those variables are nothing but global variables. And function prototypes means function declarations must be included. And the next section is entry point of the program is a main function. So main function has a return type, so you need to write down the main function and main function body. So because of my or any C program must starts with the, if you want to execute any C program, that C program must contain at least one function, that is main function, because this is an entry point of the program. And then in this section, if you are defining any number of functions in your program, variables can be included, declarations, executable statements, function calls. So such type of variables and local variables, declarations of the local variables, executable statements can be included in your main body. This is the main function body. And then other functions body can be, if your program needs some more functions, you can also define n number of functions in your program. In the document section, there are theoretical concept, whatever we have discussed now, that is there in the theoretical concept also. We'll discuss one by one. A C program is to be documented when it is to transfer to the other programmer or module, because if you want to increase the program readability, you need to transport your program from one programmer to another programmer. That time without without the knowledge of the program, so programmer can easily understand why this program is meant for. So document section generally uses single line comments or multi-line comments to describe a program. Preprocessor directives. In order to execute any C program, that is required functions definitions are present in header files. So such header files must be included in our program. Using preprocessor directives, we can include header files such as hash include, because if you are accessing any printf statement or scanf statement, those functions definitions are generally present in standard input output header files. Such as if you want to access string related functions in, so necessities, so whatever the string functions are there, no, those functions are present inside string.h header files. Macro definitions. Macros are nothing but symbolic constants which are used in many programs to avoid constants to remember. If you are repeatedly using constants, so you need to remember the constant or numbers or values unnecessary, programmer will take more time. So in order to reduce the time and rememberness, so we can define once using macro definitions. We can easily access throughout the program that those macros. And global variable declaration and function prototypes. Global variables are nothing but variables which are declared outside functions, outside function body. Such variables are nothing but global variables. These global variables have a scope that anywhere we can access in our program. And function prototypes are nothing but function declarations. If you are creating any function in your program, you need to declare a function. So function declaration is nothing but function data type and function name and the parameter list. At the end you have to specify semicolon, that is the function declaration part. Main function. So if you want to execute any C program or any program, there must contain at least one function, that is the main function, and that is a system function. We are not going to call a function, so automatically processor will call the function, and this is an entry point to a C program. So main body. So all the execution starts from main body only. So in this section we can define local variables, executable statements, function calls, control statements. Any statement is valid statement can be included in the main body. Function bodies are nothing but these are the sub programs in our programs which are defined outside main body. So an example is given here. This is a single line comment. This is not executable. So this is for end user documentation purpose. Okay, and this one is also multi-line comment line. So this is a multi-line comment and this is a single line comment. Okay, these are for the reading purpose. And here I have specified two preprocessor directives: standard input output header file and console input output header file. In short, it is stdio.h and conio.h. And one macro is defined here. So I have defined this pi. Instead of 3.142, I can use pi as my value. Okay. Function declaration. Here I have declared one function float find underscore area is a function name, and this is the parameter it is going to take. It is a type of floating point, and semicolon is given because this is the function prototype. Entry point is main function. So hence the main function is having int return type. Last we need to return a 0 or 1 value. So these are the local variables, and this is a simple printf statement, and this is a scanf statement, and I am calling a function from main function. Hence this main function is called a calling function, and the function which is getting called, that function is called as a called function. And once the function is executing successfully, it is going to return a value in this place, and this value is stored in area and here. This is an example for uh, the structure of the C program. If you are writing a C program, you need to follow these structure. Okay. Okay. This printf function is there. A printf is nothing but a predefined formatted output function which is used to print or display string onto the output screen. So if your program needs to print or your program is having any results, if you want to display on the screen, you need to call a function that is a printf function. It is a predefined. So printf function is not defined by the programmer. It is already available in C library, that is in stdio.h header file. So the syntax of the printf function is we need to pass the string in a double quotes. Here any text we can pass inside double quotes. If you want to display some variables values, then you need to specify format specifier over here, and if you are specifying n number of format specifier, the corresponding n number of variables must be specified after double quotes and comma. Okay, this is the printf. So what are the different types of format specifier? If you are printing integral value, so that time you need to use percentage %d. If you are printing floating point value, then that time you have to use percentage %f. Percentage %c is for character, percentage %l for long, percentage %s for string, percentage %ld for long double. So I will give an example for this also. This is the one example. So simple text I am printing over here. I am passing set of characters in a double quotes. I am not specifying any format specifier. Hence I don't need to include any variable list. In second one example, I have declared two variables x and y. So if I am printing x and y variable value, then that time I need to specify format specifier. So this percentage d is meant for this x variable and this percentage d is for y variable. Then the output will get like this: x is equal to 22, y is equal to 33. This is the for regarding format specifiers and printf function. Okay guys, in the next class we will discuss simple printf scanf statements, and scanf, why we are going to use scanf statement, we'll discuss in the next tutorial. Okay, thank you guys.